Hi friends, Darragh here. I think in the last episode I was talking to you about how things had gone from bad to worse. Well, unfortunately, our Marxist utopia has been rocked to its very foundations. I pride myself on being a really tolerant guy. I can put up with a lot. Laziness, procrastination, overconsumption, undercontribution, lack of initiative, arrogance, stubbornness, ignorance, indifference, and foundationless pontification. I can even tolerate an inconsistent application of the principles of veganism. But if there's one thing that really gets my goat, if you'll pardon the pun, one thing that I really can't stomach, it's betrayal. Right now I feel sick, and you might say, Darragh, man, that's probably due to the food poisoning and the fact that you're drinking stagnant water all the time. And you know what? You might be right. But in truth, I feel sick from betrayal. For we have a traitor in our midst. In our midsts. I'm not exactly sure what the expression is. Anyway, I suppose it all started last week. Relations between Oisín and the man himself kind of hit an all-time low, a sort of nadir, if you will. And not only were they not on speaking terms, but they actually weren't on looking terms either. They were kind of refusing to look each other in the eye. This proved to be kind of a very impractical form of conflict, particularly during Sandra's tantric breathing workshops. Anyway, the man himself took it upon himself to conduct some kind of mild surveillance of Oisín's day-to-day activities, which I'm pretty sure was just to make sure that he was holding up okay. Mostly the observations were uninteresting, lying down, sleeping, uke playing, and frequent visits to the long drop. But while what he saw wasn't very interesting, what he heard was devastating. Apparently, on more than one occasion, the man himself, kind of concealed from view, heard Oisín making disparaging remarks to both the rooster and the goat about the viability of this entire project. And he also heard him talk about how he was going to try and bring down our fledgling utopia from within. And to be honest, when I heard this, I was absolutely speechless. Because Oisín kind of right from the beginning has been one of the most vocal supporters of this entire project, one of the driving forces. But I suppose you don't really know your friends until the chips are down, so to speak. Anyway, the man himself convinced myself and Sandra that we needed to conduct a search of his quarters, that he now posed a legitimate and genuine threat to the safety of our utopia. So one day we waited for him to go on one of his frequent and lengthy visits to the long drop, and we conducted a fairly thorough search of his quarters. And I'm sorry to say, I suppose that's the best way of phrasing it, that we did indeed find something. And what we found is kind of mind-blowing. We found a box of rice cakes, kelkin, half-eaten. And he knows as well as I do that all food is communal, so he was in clear violation of the laws. He came back while we were conducting the search. He almost lost his mind. He was like, I've never seen these before. They were planted there, etc., etc. It nearly descended into another kind of kendo-style stick fight between himself and the man himself. Thankfully, civilized discourse prevailed, and it all was very tense. So we've kind of left it at that. There's going to be a group meeting later on this evening where we're going to try and sort things out and say some hard truths. So, guys, I'm gonna get myself mentally prepared for that. Peace out, and hopefully I'll catch you for the next installment. But I can't promise anything at this stage.